Hi, today we're joined by Geoff Smart. Geoff is the chairman and CEO of Smart, an international leadership consulting company, and also the best-selling author of Who, one of the most acclaimed books in the world on the topic of hiring leaders. Geoff and his firm are at the leading edge of leadership assessment, and their methodology has been taught to all first-year students at the Harvard Business School. And this morning we're delighted to have Geoff all to ourselves for all of 5 minutes. And before we dive into the topic of mentoring, which is what we're going to talk about today, I want to give Geoff just a chance to tell everybody what it is you do at Smart.
So Smart is in the business of helping leaders to amplify their positive impact on the world. That's the first statement in our mission statement. And so basically the work is management consulting, and the clients are leaders of large companies or investment firms or educational institutions or even governments that have us in to help them figure out their biggest strategic priorities and then make sure they have the right leaders paired with those priorities so they can achieve them.
So Geoff, the first time we met, you gave me some strict guidelines about what a mentee should expect from a mentor. Could we hear that summary again?
Sure, let me see if I can remember. I think it comes down to FAK, which is feedback, so being willing to give and receive feedback that you wouldn't get other places, access to other introductions or relationships, and then the K part would be knowledge, like specific knowledge. But mentees should not expect the mentor to be in charge of them or somehow like take ownership over their overall success in their career.
So Geoff, I'm hoping that you had some mentors that helped you get to where you are today.
I probably had 3 big mentors. The first one was my father, and his approach in mentoring me was to help me feel comfortable in business situations. So, he was sort of like, this is how you act and this is what you do. And so I appreciated that because I think it helped in a business career to feel comfortable in business settings early.
It's a huge advantage.
You bet. And the second big mentor was Peter Drucker, the famous management author, and he was a professor at the grad school, Claremont, out in Los Angeles, that I sought out to go there and get a PhD and study management under him.
So this is a mentor that meant so much to you that you kind of rerouted your educational path to go through the institution where he was.
Absolutely. And just going to school there doesn't automatically mean he becomes your mentor. So I followed up. And I remember in one class period, we were asked to write our business plan. And Peter Drucker spoke with a lavalier microphone to this auditorium class, and he didn't know it was switched on.
Oh no.
So he comes over and he's handing back our business plans, and he whispers in my ear, "Nobody likes a cocky know-it-all." And I'm kind of embarrassed because all 100 of my closest friends had heard his tough love feedback as well. But as it turns out, he was willing to give feedback other people weren't willing to give. He was very helpful in shaping the business that became Smart.
Geoff, isn't Drucker Austrian?
Yes.
Is it a little bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was leaning over and talking to you?
It did. It sounded like my career had been terminated. But in fact, he's just giving me messaging. And his core message was actually, if you're going to work as an entrepreneur and hire and serve leaders who are older than you are, you got to be nothing but respectful. One other non-soft touch mentor who I sought out named Marshall Goldsmith, he had knowledge of an area that I wanted to learn more about in executive coaching and in publishing books. And that started a 10-year-long wonderful relationship. He has been tough love like Drucker and telling me, don't add too much value, don't start sentences with no, but, and however. And he'd in fact find me every time I would do that. So things like that. It's like great mentor advice. And he also gave me a playbook for how to publish books. And I have since taken this knowledge and passed it on to other friends of mine to help their shortcut to prosperity.
If you're an ordinary guy and you're looking for mentors, where do you look?
Step 1 is envision the path that your career is on, as broadly or narrowly as you can think about it. And then secondly is make a list of 10 people who are already on that path. Step 3 would be call them and invite them to have a mentoring conversation. I think 45 minutes is a good ask for a mentee to ask a mentor for his or her time for a first meeting. For a good mentor-mentee relationship, it starts with knowledge of the mentee, and then you can layer all the good advice and counsel on top of that.
So Geoff, if someone is interested in being a mentor, where should they look for a mentee?
I think you have 2 approaches if you want to find a mentee. One is the passive approach, where people contact you and you kind of pick and choose who maybe has the interest and the willingness that you're looking for, and then you deem them your mentee. Another approach my wife and I took, we decided we wanted to go mentor some people. So we contacted local charter schools and we just asked the principal, hey, do you have any 8th graders who are particularly talented in leadership who might be interested in a leadership career in business? You know, my wife and I are interested in mentoring someone. So
oh, how fantastic.
It's worked out really great. We have this new mentee named Jasmine. She's interested in building a graphic design firm one day. So we've taken her out to museums to look at art. We have lunches set up with graphic designer friends of ours where we have kind of a roundtable discussion about what that career path's like. It's cool and it's fun. She's very motivated and our skill sets are definitely a good match.
So Geoff, not only have you benefited from being a mentee, but you've turned around and provided mentorship to a lot of people in both your business and your personal life. What a great example. Thank you for being here with us today to share that.
Well, it's a pleasure. And I thought that in your book, Shortcut to Prosperity, you really hit the nail on the head about the importance of mentoring and how going out and getting a mentor can be really game-changing for people. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Geoff.
Thanks, Mark.